You know what's the trick to get a horse to walk somewhere it doesn't want to walk?
My knowledge of horses is very low. All I know is riding the dilly horse. So
Yeah. Okay. Kai, have you ever like interacted with horses or something?
Like directly?
no, indirectly, like on a webcam or something.
with like sails and stuff, or
Oh
No.
dude.
So basically,
not at all.
the idea is you take a towel and you put it over their eyes, and then they will completely trust you most of the time, and then you can make them walk wherever you want to because they're like, oh.
does this work with humans as well?
Does it? Yeah, I was gonna say, like, does that only work with horses or like human beings
I mean,
too?
you could try it like to all kinds of animals or creatures or
human.
I've only ever observed it like in horses because that's what my parents used to do when we wanted the horse to walk into the vehicle.
Dude, like sometimes I wish we could just put that in front of like a Magic player to do like the right place once in a while.
That's why you always carry a towel, right? So you can make people do whatever you want to.
No, it's
like
not
Judge
because
comes
I'm sweating.
over like bad drooling. You're like, Judge, can you like quickly put this towel over your head? No, I think it only works for movement.
I swear it's not because I just sweat a lot. It's
Like, yeah, it gets a little suspicious if you do it like in December too. Yeah.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Rule number 1: always carry a towel. Guys, how's it going? We decided to come together right after 4 seasons. So Kai, you basically stepped out of an airplane, right? I think you're still like on your way home to your apartment, or did you already arrive?
I arrived like an hour or two ago. I'm completely drained, but like in a good way. You know what I mean? Like usually, like if your body is like 100% battery, like I was on Saturday and Sunday night, I was like below 2%. You know, like it's kind of like when like all the like the warning signals kind of start to beep, like beep beep. You're actually gonna die in like 3, 2, 1.
But you know what's
right?
amazing? When your phone hits like that 2% battery, that 2% lasts for so long.
I know,
Forever,
yeah.
right?
It's like this, yeah. It's kind of like similar to the human body too, because you can still kind of keep going. You know,
Survival
like-
mode
like-
kicks in.
It's like
Yeah.
fuel in your car, right? When the needle goes all the way to the left and like the blinking and the noises come up, you're like, I got 100K to go still. Like this is gonna be fine, right?
When
Yeah,
I was
dude.
really young, I'd always like watch that go down, like, over a long journey, especially. But then it would like go past the bit where it's 0. I'm like, we've been lied to all our lives. This is bullshit. Why doesn't it just stop at the bottom? Because then you
actually-
can never judge it, right?
It actually happened once to me as a child. My mother ran out of fuel, and we literally just had to stop, and we called the gas station, and they rolled up with a giant truck, and then we got to refill the car, and I will
They
never
came
forget
to you?
that.
Oh my
They
God.
literally came to us, yeah. But also, like, I grew up in a small village, so everybody knew everyone.
Okay, fine.
So I think she even went to school with those people and everything. It's just
Oh,
like,
that's nice, yeah.
yeah.
I think we've run out of gas a couple of times, but like, well, why am I saying gas? It's petrol.
Yeah,
That's
there's
the real
still, like-
word. Sorry, but
Yeah.
we've had to like walk to petrol stations and then get like cans of it or whatever. I don't know.
You make it sound like it's like a regular occurrence.
No, like twice in my life when I was a teenager.
Twice a month.
I'm guessing. I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, speaking of which, like I have like a really interesting story. So on my that was like 2 weeks ago when I went from the Buffalo Chicken Dip Legacy to the Energy event, and I missed my flight because they forgot to put fuel on the airplane. Dude,
I mean, it happens to the best of us, right?
Yeah, all the time.
but everyone was seated already. You know,
Oh
they
my
were
God.
doing like the safety demonstrations and like all that stupid stuff, right?
But don't pretend you actually were listening to those.
No, I was not listening to it, but then like the captain took over and like he made like this announcement in the airplane that it's like it's basically fully ready except it doesn't have any fuel in it.
What?
And then
Can people like chip in and we'll buy some fuel of the guy at the tarmac or
it's like,
something?
here's my card, just take whatever you want.
Yeah, here's my GoFundMe. Like, isn't it how everything works in the US? GoFundMe for this flight.
Yeah, pretty much. It was a really big mess up, but yeah.
So
Hey.
what happened then?
Oh, like we got a replacement flight the next day.
The next day, did
yeah,
they pay for the
yeah.
hotel?
So yeah, we got like this little like teeny tiny hotel and like a really mediocre burger and with fries. But the point is that I think this year, in 99% of all my flights to Magic events, some shit has happened. Right? They either forgot to put fuel on the flight, or they screwed my luggage up and they couldn't find it, or they had to like deliver it the next day, or
Oh,
flights
true,
was canceled, and like all of that stuff.
Have you ever considered, Kai, do you have an iPhone or like an Android?
No, I have an iPhone.
Have you ever considered getting one of those AirTags to put into your luggage?
No, not yet. I don't even
You don't know what that is?
No.
Okay, so very quickly, by the way, hello and welcome to Everyday Eternal number 176, your favorite, most deceptively named bi-weekly legacy podcast. Today's show is brought to you by our brand new Patreon, Edward. Yeah. If you want to support the running of the show directly, you can support us on patreon.com/everydayeternal and make sure Kai gets to buy an AirTag. So Kai, AirTag is this thing that it was originally created so you can stalk people, right? Like your ex-girlfriend or something. You put it in their car, and then it sends out a signal, and it connects to any other available iPhone. So whenever it catches a Wi-Fi signal or something from another phone, or maybe it's Bluetooth based, I'm not sure, it uses that signal to report to some cloud server where it is, and then you on your phone, you see where they are.
That sounds fantastic, especially for someone like me who always tends to lose.
Yeah.
Bags
So
anyway.
At some point, people started using it for like other stuff, like not stalking people, but track your luggage, track your valuables, whatever you have. I've seen people like put it in a deck box.
I think there is a Xbox maker in Japan, which also like adds like a GPS chip. I think inside the deck box you can like locate it at any time. Pretty cool, I think.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, the GPS chip alone doesn't do it, because then the deck box will know where it is, but it still needs to communicate it. That's the beauty of these AirTags, right? They leech internet from wherever they can get, usually other iPhones, to then tell the service where they are. Otherwise, if the deck box only has GPS, then the deck box is like, hey, I know where I am, but I can't tell anybody. But they must have some way to make that work. That's really cool. But we already starting to talk about your journeys, dude. You've been to so many places. We talked about your American adventures on the last cast. On this cast, how much time did you actually get to spend in Berlin before you went to Four Seasons Bologna? I want to say one of the most historic classic legacy events in all of the world by now.
Yeah, I honestly don't even know where I live. I've been to like so many events this year. Holy smokes! I saw like big Magic events, like kind of the same almost, but that's not the case. They're like it's just vastly different. And like the Four Season Bologna event in particular is an event where people just put a lot of like dedication to it, I think. And oh man, dude, like, cause it was basically like a mini Eternal weekend, especially this one, cause we had the ELM too. So like all the people, like all the people from Twitter were there, and like all the best grinders in Europe, and like, man, that hall was packed this time.
And did you get to play in any of the events?
Oh yeah, man! Like so Friday is, as you guys know, like Friday is I call it like fun day, because it's the team trials day.
It is very much.
I don't even know if they do like any other events besides the team trials event. Not really sure. That's the thing, right? I don't know. Sometimes like up to 40, 50 teams show up, and this time it was a rare case for me because you guys were not around, so like I had to find a different team.
I was about to say, you got rid of your shackles and
yeah dude.
Wait, didn't we also top 8 like once or twice?
We did.
Okay.
I think we might have actually top 8 twice, I don't remember, but yeah.
We were decent in Magic, yeah.
Fair enough. I was at the bar halfway through like each time, so I don't remember like what we did, but yeah.
I still remember when Kai lightning bolted that 03 in Modern to attack with a 1/1. Anyway.
I mean, that sounds reasonable to me. But like, yeah, so I had to, because I was so used to having you guys at the event that I just didn't worry about the team trials event. But this time I was like, it was basically the week before the event. I still didn't have a team. And miraculously, some of my oldest Magic friends, like I've known for like, I don't know, 15 plus years or something like that, they reached out to me, and I got to play with some of my German friends. It was pretty cool with Daniel on
Daniel Manz, and Bernhard Feige.
Exactly. Bernhard was on Jeskai Control in Modern. Daniel was on Grixis Delver in Legacy, featuring the Frog and and like DRC and stuff like that. And I was on Vintage Doomsday because, man, I love Gush so much.
That's what you do.
Yeah, and like the classic, like, as you do, like we just went there. I didn't know how good Daniel and Bernhard are at Magic, like in because a lot of times
they were much better than you.
Oh man,
You-
dude,
you
they
get,
were
like, hard
crushing.
carries?
They
Yeah.
were kind of crushing. I mean, I was like, my run was undefeated too. Like 6 rounds, I had like 6 wins, so that definitely helped a little bit. But like those guys were, man, they were really in their element. Especially Bernhard with his Jeskai control deck. For everyone who's not really familiar with that deck, it's like one of the slowest things you can play in Modern right now, and the mirror matches are like abysmal because
You can play slow decks in Modern, okay?
yeah,
Okay.
but
good
it's
to
like
know.
it's basic, dude. It's basically the one ring and just like a bunch of counters and removal. That's the whole
Flage
deck.
kills quite fast, right?
Yeah, I mean you gotta
the end
win the
game.
game somehow. Exactly. Like,
But there's just like so much
yeah, so I guess like,
Teferis and Wrath of the Skies and rings and there's like
all of it.
subtleties and funds everywhere. Yeah.
it's so hilarious because like in a Jeskai Mirror, for example, like it's not unheard of to surgical their flages, so they only have subtleties as creatures. It's,
That sounds completely legit.
like right, like yeah,
like a good play, not like
well,
you
who
joking.
knows? Like at some point you might want to like next level that and play like I don't even know, like fucking Keranos, maybe like some other bullshit creature.
You guys
It's still
remember
the subtlety.
in Standard 2013, 2014, Blue-White's Black Control in Standard, where
Oh,
people
yeah.
used, what's it called? Not Morphling, but
Ancient. Oh, Aetherling.
Aetherling, yeah. And,
Yeah, you have to
and-
bring in a pithing needle in the mirror to like
And
stop
like,
them.
what's it called? Like thousand year elixir or something? Like the one that basically shuffles your deck back into your library?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
that
no.
card had the weirdest tech to beat it. It was Debtor's Pulpit, which was like a 5-mana enchant land. Enchant land got tap the land, tap target creature or something. And that was the tech to beat it because it would just stop it attacking. Because a removal spell never gets it because 1 blue, you just flicker it. So that was the tech to beat Aetherling.
Oh, so you could
Sick.
basically have like a removal spell every single turn, kind of?
It's like a Richard and Port, but
It's
for
a-
the creature
yeah.
For
attacking.
creature.
Like,
Yeah.
that was the tech. It was
Oh,
there's a
man.
little snippet of
Yeah.
I played
But-
lots of that standard.
Dude, but I also remember like Pearl Lake Ancient.
Yeah,
The
that
one you
card
just
was
mentioned.
sick.
There's like Khans of Taki, all control deck all-star finisher.
I played that blue-black control deck so much with the like Perilous Vault and Pollic
Oh,
Ancient
dude.
and Dig Through Time. Yeah.
Oh man, dude.
You guys are sick, seriously.
Yeah, man.
Good times.
I just remember when people used to put Pithing Needle on Underworld Connections.
No, name the swamp guys. Yeah.
Classic,
Yeah,
classic.
dude. Yeah.
Anyway, so you played. Actually, you won
Yeah.
a lot. I just realized you
Yes.
went undefeated on the entire weekend, kind
Let's
of.
go.
Yeah, man. Like, it's been a while, and I gotta be honest with you. Like, the day before I went to Italy, like I put all my decks together, including my vintage deck, and it was not updated like at all. I just found out on the flight and that like at the airport that people play Psychic Frog also in vintage. I didn't know that.
No way.
And like yeah, a lot of those things, right? Like also that my deck was basically built to beat like 4 Vexing Bulbos, but now it's like only a singleton card, and it's like it was a little wonky, I gotta say, and a little outdated, a little old school, but
That's a very dark ritual approach. Like, just fuck it. Just kill him.
yeah, dude.
Don't update.
Yeah, because some of the lists they cut Necro. Like how the hell? Like
It's basically like feels like the 5th copy of Doomsday sometimes.
dude, that's. Do you know how cool that card is, dude? Like
Yeah.
I would cut all my.
it has like
Doomsdays
3 skulls on it.
Hell yeah, it's just, yeah, it's really metal.
You guys remember, right? We probably talked about this. And oh god, I don't remember the exact magazine. Might have been Inquest or something. They ranked it as the worst rare in Ice Age back then.
It's so funny. Well, like, what was the best rare then? Like,
Probably like some stupid worm or something.
yeah, probably some shitty mediocre size creature.
Ice Kraken or whatever it is.
Like, how can you ever beat it? It's 8/8 trample or something.
You just have to
Island
sacrifice
homes.
5 islands in your upkeep.
Or it deals 8 damage to you.
Yeah.
That's how they created decks back then.
Oh man. But yeah, we had a really good run, and like one thing I wanna highlight, or like I wanna point out for any team, is that like don't communicate with your team members too much.
Yeah.
I think I did it like in the 5th round with Daniel, who was on, because I finished my round, and then like I think I just talked a little bit too much or added too many like small little bits and pieces to them, and I think I kind of distracted Daniel a little bit too much. So like just let your team members do their thing. They are basically the CEOs of their own archetype, and You can add something, but like you shouldn't.
If you trust them, like
Right.
they're thinking of all the same things as you are. Like it might look like they're missing something, but they might just then know more than you or whatever. Like they will know that the opponent played differently in game one or something
Exactly.
like that. They sideboard a different card you don't know about. So
Oh, yeah.
usually, as long as you trust them, they know more than you. So you should. That's how I do it. Like I'll just watch a thing, and then if someone asks, then you get involved. But yeah, I agree.
Yeah, totally. You know, it even gives a lot of information away, I think, especially in Italy where you see like a lot of facial expressions. it's like sometimes it's just so easy to tell what the top deck was because like
they drew a flooded strand.
like it's not even the player, it's usually the teammate, you know, who kind of makes like a really strange face, you know, depending on what the top deck was, like a land or something.
Yeah.
It's kind of
To me,
hilarious
but
actually.
I remember playing team events, actually only a couple of them, but back when I tried to make it in standard. Yeah, that was like 10 years ago. And sometimes when we played against a team that was like foreign, but they kind of spoke German, then we started like talking about the cards in Bavarian, right? So we first of all, we'd use the German card name, but then we'd like give it a different name in Bavarian that would still like kind of sound the same. I mean, I guess most of our viewers won't get this, but I always loved the one. You guys know Live from the Gnome, right?
Yeah.
Which in German is Leben aus Lehm. So we just called it Lehm aus Lehm. Okay, that only makes sense to our German listeners, but I always just loved that.
But oh yeah, also like speaking of, this is a little off topic, but like I recently talked to one of my older Magic friends from Japan, and we just remembered the one single German name card that is like probably my absolute favorite, and it's not even like one of those Wild and Cattles and all of that stuff. It's Wurmcoil Engine, dude. Like,
oh come on, that's a classic.
Man,
I thought,
like
you were gonna hit us with
Wurmspiralmaschine.
something.
dude, it's Wurm Spiral Machine. Oh,
Spiralmaschine.
Spiralmaschine. It gets me every single time, man.
But that's not what everybody knows. I thought you
Yeah.
were gonna come at us with like something Samenschaukelhexe-esque or something. Seed Cradle Witch.
I'm sorry, it's just Wurm Spiral Machine. But yeah, anyway, so it was 6 rounds of Swiss, and our team started with a loss. I gotta add it to it. So like our motivation, like, we were kind of already in the beer bracket, I want to say, pretty early, but you know, and then like we kind of farmed the whole event from all the back from like to the top tables in a couple of rounds, and I can only speak for myself here, but I think our all the matchups were really diverse, especially in Modern was more diverse than I thought. I thought it's only Boros Energy and Jessica Control and Eldrazi maybe, but it's like a widespread field, even stuff like Scape Shift and stuff like that. And it's same was also true for Vintage, I think. Like I played against 2 White Initiative decks. I played against DME Lurus, which is, people say it's the best deck in Vintage right now. I played against it twice, which is also not particularly a good matchup for Doomsday.
Mm-hmm.
It gets really grindy. And then
I was just talking to Tom DeDecker right before this cast, and he also played, I think, Demir Lurus, he said, or some kind of Lurus deck, and he also lost to Doomsday and told me, yeah, actually, it's supposed to be like not the worst kind of matchup, but yeah, sometimes the opponent just gets here.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, so a lot of frogs and a lot of Oakish Bowmasters, stuff like that, you see a lot in Vintage. It doesn't have to be Demir. I thought like a couple of Esper lists too, or like blue-white.
Yeah, Esper's like doing
Meta,
the
I
best.
guess.
Since as soon as the Bauble like ban and Saga, restrictions.
Actually, no, it's Lurus.
Esper's been doing the best online, I think. But yeah.
Yeah. I guess it kind of depends on what you want to tackle, right? Like, because Lavinia is such a powerhouse. It's kind of like Vexing Bauble.
It's also
honestly.
kind of they want swords for initiative and the mirror for frogs, I think, is the thinking.
Fair, yeah.
But yeah,
100%.
Lavinia is very good as well.
Yeah, definitely. And then I played against True Hero Marco Vassallo's team, which was really cool because I think so one of his friends was on the Vintage seat, and she told me that she was fairly new to Magic in general. She played a little of,
and then she plays Vintage.
Yeah, and so she told me she plays a little bit of Standard and Pioneer on Magic Arena, and that's about it. And this is her first real Vintage tournament. And like,
so if she tells me that, I would totally put her on initiative.
Right? Yeah. So my little monkey brain thought, okay, so it better be like an Ancient Tomb or like some Mishra's Workshop nonsense. But then she goes like, Mox Tolarian Academy, go, you know, and I'm like what the fuck? And that was on. We were sitting at 3-1, I think.
Uh-huh.
And like, yeah,
And then she goes to Mana League you.
Exact.
Wait, really?
No. It was not.
Okay.
It was not a mana league. Like, and she was kind of like on the back foot both games, but man, she played like one of the most complicated decks, which was Grixis Breach with like Brain Freeze and like Underworld Breach and like Flusterstorms and all of that.
This is my favorite deck in Vintage.
Oh
Grixis
man,
Breach.
yeah. I always forget like how many creatures they have. Like they can like stuff like Opposition Agent, Hull Breacher. You see every now and then. She
Does it
actually
play like Dreadhorde Arcanist? No, right?
not that, but Orcish Boma says I think anything with Flash. Because for Arcanist you need a little bit of removal
Pearl-like
to kind of
Ancient.
clear the way. Pearl-like Ancient, classic. I guess Atraxa, which is kind of like Pearl-like Ancient's stupid sister. But yeah, so that was really, really interesting, and also kind of told me that to not judge too fast on an archetype, because my first keep was like it had like Force of Negation, like my one of Force of Negation in it, like a Force of Will. It was really reactive, had a lot of lands, was kind of slow.
But I mean, you would have kept that one anyway, wouldn't you?
Yeah, no, not at all. So,
really? Okay, because you thought it was an Ancient Tomb deck, and you made the decision based on that.
Yeah. Oh, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought like it's probably gonna be like a Sphere of Resistance or something like that on the first turn, but that didn't happen. And yeah, my last opponent was on Bug, just classic Bug.
Bug and then
midrange.
another white initiative, right?
I've never seen Bug Vintage win a match in my life.
No, it's
Michael Bond, 2013 Bazaar of Moxon Vintage main event.
I know it
He took
actually
first
has,
place.
but like,
yeah.
it's kind of like the kicking bag of the format. I know it does win. It's won some challenges, and some people think it's good, but like,
Dude,
I always see it losing. I don't know.
I'm absolutely with you. I still don't get Bug. It's honestly like a Golgari mid-range deck with like a couple of power pieces in it.
Yeah, it's just Death Rite plus Collector Roof plus power, right?
Yeah, dude.
And Oko's and Gavel's good, but yeah.
Are they not even playing Tamagotchi anymore?
Like you can.
They do.
Because that was like the joke Justin Gennaro used to make about the deck, right? Like everybody has like all these super powerful cards, and they come in here and they're like, I came here to cast Tamagotchi. Like, okay. It's like Tinker, Ancestor Recall. And I guess you couldn't play Ank in that one as well, but you get the idea, right?
Oh, yeah.
By the way, shout outs to Justin. Just like he had a cancer scare, and I just saw earlier that looks like everything went fine for him. So Justin, you're awesome. Keep going.
Awesome. Yeah. But yeah, that was the tournament.
Nice.
I think Andrea Mengucci's team was also was way up there, I think, on the first table.
They were 5-0 undefeated. Top
Hell
place.
Yeah.
They're pretty good.
Man, I can't stress how fun this event is, like team trials. I also saw it at the Energy event in America, and it's like it's everywhere. It's the same vibes, right? It's usually like the loudest tournament too.
Whenever we've played it, like the last few times, I've enjoyed it way more than the main events.
Yeah. Dude, I remember when we played against Nicolo and they brought us like bananas. I still don't fully like Italy has like a lot of these legacy customs that I just like I love observing, but I don't really fully get into them. Like that whole wooded team thing and the banana team. They have like so many funny quirks about their tournaments.
What's not that to understand? Banana, legacy, wood.
Yeah.
I don't know why you don't get it, but hey.
I want a banana this big. Have they actually ever printed like a banana? I guess not.
They did food tokens.
Yeah, but like properly, like I cast my banana.
I don't believe so.
Not yet. That's for the next secret layer.
It would be green, right? And then like you can grow it or something, and then you have to peel it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it can also go bad. Like actually, that would be the worst mechanic. Like creatures that go bad. We already had that, right?
That's
fading.
a cool idea. Like a food thing that has vanishing too, or something.
But people hated like fading and vanishing and all that kind of stuff.
I love it, but
oh yeah, but that's not what you mean, right? Because like it instantly dies at fading. Like you want it to like kind of like just become weaker.
Oh, so it becomes weaker over time. So it gets like -1/-1 counters every turn or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is
I don't know.
Also like I mean a side note to this, like Wizard just doesn't print any creatures with downsides. Am I right? Like creatures like
because
Phyrexian
everything has to be
Negator.
amazing.
Yeah, like upsides are always great, obviously, but like there is like, so for example, like a creature like Phyrexian Negator, like something like that, I have not seen.
Phyrexian
like,
Obligator? Or what's the one called? The improved version of it?
Obliterator.
Obliterator. Close enough.
Phyrexian Obligator.
Obligator. That's what the next.
You are obligated to fight my creature.
Pretty much.
Thank you.
Actually, I never really looked into that, but I mean, now that you mention it, I feel like yes, but honestly, I'm gonna keep an eye out, like when I see new creatures, because a lot of times you have creatures that are good, and they're good despite their downside, and that's what's interesting about them. But I feel like when there's only ever upsides, we get into like battlecruiser magic territory, right? Like I don't know, Baneslayer Angel-esque creatures.
Yeah, I've never thought
That's
of
what you
this,
mean,
but
right?
like I think some of the most interesting cards, like in the past, are these like high ceiling but downside things. Like Abyssal Persecutor is one of my favorite card designs
man.
ever. It's like so
That's
cool.
pretty cool. Yeah,
100%, yeah, because because these cards also like make it so that you can kind of brew around them, right? Like a card like, let's say like Uro, for example, it only has upsides. Like everything on the card is an upside that you don't have to just put it in your deck, right? And it's gonna be all right, even if your deck is just not even the best Uro deck.
I guarantee some listeners thinking, yeah, but what if you have no cards in your library? Yeah, sorry.
All right, I will stop my thoughts right there. Okay.
We're watching you, but no, you're right though. You're right. Yeah, we need more downsides. It's so fun.
Yeah.
I'm actually just scrolling through the Bloomburrow set trying to find a creature with a downside, but I can't find one
Honestly,
so far.
Idiot. Like if you were like wizards by now are like car makers. They like if you were to make a car, would you want to have it at the downside? No, because all the EDH players, they just want like good cars, right? They don't want a car. Like if you were to buy a car and then the guy tells you, yeah, but there's like a 25% chance every 100 kilometers that like the wheel comes off, and you're like, cool, that's amazing.
No,
that's
but
not
like,
happening, right?
If it's cheap enough, then
The guy will drive it. Yeah, you know if the value is there, like what's the mana cost of this car? How much are we talking here?
Yeah.
See that also the interesting thoughts, I guess. And then you have to like change cars midway. You're like, okay, I'm like at 80 kilometers. Maybe we're gonna switch it out now.
I mean that's the thing with Phyrexian Negator, for example, right? It's a 5/5 for just 3 mana. And
the card is one of the most flavorful cards I ever saw.
Yeah, the mana costs are the upside of that card.
Flavor text of that one?
Oh shit, dude, I'm
don't
so
know.
bad. I'm so bad with
It
man.
exists to cease.
Oh yeah, that's it. That's cool. Super cool.
I'm sorry, father. I didn't know.
That was one of those cards that I saw in the World Championship decks in 1999. And I feel like there was a black deck that made it to the quarterfinals that had those cards. And I was like, oh my god, this is so amazing. Like, if this is good, then I know nothing about Magic. And like when I'm passionate about something, but I don't know anything about it, that's one of the most exciting things, because then like everything you do is going to make you better, and it's going to be a new adventure and everything. And Phyrexian Negator in very many ways feels that way to me.
Yeah.
Maybe can we bring it back? Probably not.
Not sure about that.
People, on very rare occasions, people had it in the sideboard of Dark Ritual decks for like, I don't know, Dark Ritual Mirrors or something.
I think it's against like control or any decks that is going to board out the removal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can't block it, right?
Yeah, but I guess these days we just play Barrogoyf in that spot.
Oh, yeah, that card's good. I played against Phyrexian Obliterator. That's the 4-mana one, right? Like literally this last week in a league.
Of course you did.
I swear it was what are they called? It was Koike. They always play Nick Fit, like always play Crazy Brews, and they went like turn 2 Prismatic Omen, which is the one where all your lands every land type. And then turn 5, or when they had 5 mana, they played an Obliterator, and then played a 1 green. One of your creatures gets +2/+2 and fights another creature.
So goodbye your board.
I had to bolt one of my creatures in response, and then I tapped out to do something, and then they just played Scapeshift and killed me. So,
are we talking about Legacy?
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Hell
Long
yeah.
live Legacy. This is
So
amazing.
Obliterators are alive. Negators, I'm not sure.
Fantastic.
They have amazing art. Oh, dude.
Yeah. Oh, it's
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Anyway,
nice one,
Kai, you guys ended up making top 8, right? Top 8 is not played out. That one split. What did you get for top 8? Like just, I think, money, right?
Yeah. They basically PayPal you for the whole team, and then you can split it however you want. It's not as flavorful as the main events, which I think we're gonna talk
Where they
about
also
in a second.
PayPal you.
Yeah, they PayPal you a painting.
Okay. Yeah, true. You also get something on top. Okay, cool. I see now show notes that you did commentary.
So yeah, that was on Saturday though. I didn't do the commentary on Friday because I think there was no commentary. But on Saturday there
Makes sense.
Yeah, but on Saturday there was the live stream of the ELM.
European Legacy Masters, the third installment of the basically pan-European World Championship, I was gonna say.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, didn't like more than 100 players show up for that event? It was
110. We'll talk a lot about ELM in a moment. I also got a lot of background infos from somebody. No, actually Tom the Decker. I used to always, like, in a very arcane way, speak about like the background info we get from the people at ELM. No, it's actually 99%. It's just like Tom the Decker, basically one of the most awesome people in Eternal Magic in the world. And they put it on this Saturday, and you did commentary with Sean Goddard and by the way, and Peter Blank of the In Response Legacy podcast. Is Sean literally just like, oh no, that's a different Sean. There's too many Seans. There's too many Seans in European. I was talking about Greek Sean. This is Sean Goddard is like British, right?
There are many Seans. Yeah,
Sean's English. He's like a stone cold killer. Like he top 8 at the last Pro Tour, and he lost the win for the one before. But then he's just like such a nice guy and absolutely loves this game so much. So he'll come to most LLMs and then be playing Arena on his phone between rounds. Like he plays this game so much. He's so good. He has he had the best win rate of all players at Pro Tours in Limited over the last few events as well. So, but here he is commentating Legacy. He just loves it. It's so sick.
It was really cool, yeah.
The stream was amazing. The commentary was really good all day until the top 8, I think, and then this guy jumped on. No, joking. No, it was all really good. I was here at my house cubing with friends all day, and we had it on in the background, and the stream was just awesome. Like, you could see everything, you could hear everything. It was super well done. So well done, Luke, as well.
Yeah, definitely. Like all the people in the background, right? Like also like Saha Mihadi, we kind of like also put everything together. It was really, really like well done. And like a smooth tournament, I think, for everyone.
Absolutely.
Yeah, by the way, as we're talking about that, shout outs to Luke K, by the way. I was told that he also, like, he came in clutch in many, many different ways. And yeah, he very much deserves, like, I think he's been involved with pretty much every ELM, but especially for this one, I was told that he did so much work. So Luke, here's your shout outs.
He's been there since the beginning. He helped set it all up.
I think my favorite moment was when he was holding the umbrella to reduce the glare, and then he got replaced by a machine.
Yes, was that the one when we were there, the first one?
That was the second one, I believe.
Second one, okay. Yeah, nice.
Anyway, so we keep going back to this commentary thing, but we're not really getting anywhere. So Kai, how many rounds did you actually get to commentate on that weekend?
I was really fortunate to commentate the quarterfinals and one of the semifinal matches.
Ooh, okay, cool. So it was not good enough for the finals, huh?
Not good enough for the finals. No, it was pizza time for me, unfortunately. But
pizza time.
Yeah.
But
okay. Man, like it was really, really nice. Like, just talking about Magic, especially with Sean, because like Sean knows so much about Magic. I felt like there's like, every time that he says something, I'm like, dude, like I kind of nothing to add to this, I can kind of repeat what you just said, but it's like,
you can say it in Japanese.
Yeah, it's just not a lot of juice from my end,
One of the bits I caught was him saying there was one matchup it was when Francis Capital was playing on stream, and Francis was playing Paradigm Shift. So there's 4 Paradigm Shifts and 4 Thassa's Oracle in the deck, and he was saying he played against I can't remember the matchup now. Something kind of fair, and he boarded out the combo game 2 quite clearly and like sided into like Psychic Frogs and Murktides and stuff. And then Sean was talking about how Francis should, even if he's going to keep the combo out game 3, he should like sideboard 8 cards from his sideboard back in, not the full 15, which people often do to pretend that they're sideboarding, but just do 8 and then take 8 cards out again, because it sells the bluff that you're bringing the combo back in much more than 15 cards and stuff.
Oh, because it's 4 and 4.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, very smart. See, yeah.
I don't know if Francis did it, but what a noob. He probably did. I wasn't even paying attention. So, should we go over the European Legacy Masters results?
Yeah. So first of all, let's actually look at the top 8. Overall, they had 110 players. And for the top 8, so from top to bottom right now, we got Nico Alta Parmakov from the UK on Blue-Black Reanimator, Krzysztof Masharek from Poland on Grixis Diver, Alex Rowe from the Netherlands on Green Post, Tu Bochase, I'm so sorry I butchered your name, dude, I've known you for so long, but I still don't know how to pronounce your name, from Denmark on Blue-Black Reanimator, Leif Stuhlmann from Germany on Eldrazi Stompy, Luca Fasoli on, of course, Doomsday from Italy, Ilya von Presentine from Germany on Painter. Hey, dude, 2 Germans in the top 8. Shoutouts. Okay, I got thrown off. Guys, seriously, what is this production? They have Germans as DE and the next time as Cher. Like, how am I supposed to do commentary?
They're just trying to catch you out.
No, seriously, like, European Legacy Masters, they have insane production value. Like, also, like, all of this was out basically this Monday, maybe even earlier. Might have actually been earlier. While everybody was traveling and everything. So this is shout outs to Tom and the whole crew for putting this together. And of course, 8th person in the top 8, Matteo Blasi, the person who can probably like never lose in Italy, the nimblest mongoose, this time playing Blue-Black Reanimator.
What a G. He had a pretty good weekend. We'll get to it.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a moment as well, because for this one, he took down the European Legacy Masters. He won the finals against Nico in a Blue-Black Reanimator mirror.
We had to be in out, right?
Yeah, I believe so, right?
Yeah, I think
so. We had like 3 Blue-Black Reanimators in the top 8, in the top 4 even. Only Eldrazi Stumpy was able to like get in there. And I think Matteo was even down a game at some point, because I tried to watch the finals, but I was busy. But I saw him down a game. And
he got like
he came back
wasted, and I can't remember if he stifled, but he got like stuck on mana. Yeah.
Wait, the stifler thing? I've seen.
I
didn't get to watch a lot, but I've seen some stifles here.
Yeah.
The more stifles I see, the happier I am. It's just like such a creative card. No, seriously, like Matteo took down the whole tournament. He became the 3rd European Legacy Master, I guess. And he took down that amazing painting. We talked about it on the last episode. That one was gifted to 4 Seasons by the people behind that one was gifted to Eternal European. I'm so sorry, I'm so bad at this. I think that, okay, we're going to have some news about European Legacy Masters, and it's going to make a little more sense in a moment. But yeah, the painting was gifted to European Legacy Masters by the people behind 4 Seasons. It's been 3 years and I still like throw the two together, which I really shouldn't, because I know so much better, but I'm so sorry. But I'm really proud of these guys. Like, remember when ELM started? It started in 2022, and I was like of the opinion that they should wait a year, right? That they should only put it on 1 year later to have it like properly organized and everything. But they wanted it so badly, and they did a much better job than I would have ever imagined for the very first installment. Then you had the second installment, and I feel like the third one is always the hardest, because the third one is always where, you know, motivation starts to dwindle and everything. It's like, okay, we've already like 2 great events, but the third one's just, I don't know. That's my experience with like these content projects and everything. So them putting this together, like having a really smooth stream from everything I've heard, I'm just like really proud that we have the ELM in Europe.
Mm-hmm. I agree completely.
Yeah.
Like they just smashed it so well. I agree completely. Again, like it's 3-4 is where it kind of like dwindles and stuff. But from like looking at Twitter and stuff, I think people were more hyped for this one than even last year.
That's good, like, right?
Yeah,
it's gonna be even more next year, but we'll talk about that in a moment.
Yeah.
It's finally kind of established too. Like you know, you can say ELM and people kind of know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you know?
Right.
That was not the case before, I think, because you had to kind of like explain what it is. But like now, even like the people in America know what ELM means.
ELMS. Also, they did a really good thing. I think Kai might have done this as well. No, Tom went like on other podcasts and promoted it, and they wrote articles, and I think they collaborated with MTG Goldfish at times. So yeah, the word of the ELM is spreading, and honestly, it's just like, yeah, there's some European patriotism in there for me, where it just feels like, hey, dude, we got our shit together, and we not only have like, okay, in Germany we didn't have national championships for 10 years, but at least Europe has a championship now, right? And it's been going strong for 3 years now. Also, I got some news from Tom right now. Like, apparently Bose MTG, Gianluca Bose, who does like so much work for the community, he came in clutch like right before the tournament. He just like contributed another 1,000 euros to the whole thing. Like on super short notice. Wow. He was just like, yeah, by the way, guys, you do a great job. Here's another 1K to, you know, use in a project, and I think mostly for prizes. I'm not sure about that, but I would think so. So what a boss, man. Awesome. Bose is a boss. Yeah. Also, by the way, he's putting on Damnation 3, I was told, like in beginning of January, 3rd, 4th, 5th. If you're on Pisa and you want to play some Legacy in Modern, just go out there. But oh yeah, and here's another thing. Ultimate Guard, they gave them almost 4. By the way, we are not sponsored by any of these guys, but maybe they want to at some point. It's just like a lot of information I just got from Tom right before the podcast. They got almost 4K in like retail stuff. You know, all the stuff they gave out during the tournament to people who also maybe didn't top 8 or like side events and everything. Ooh. That's more than I expected.
Nice.
And of course, 4 Seasons with the insane painting that they gifted to them. But like ELM wasn't even asking for anything. it's already like the greatest gift that they get to host ELM at Four Seasons and make it work that way. But yeah, the Four Seasons was like, by the way, here's this amazing dragon, which now stays in Italy, by the way. Tom was super happy about that because he pledged to FedEx at wherever the winner was from. So if the winner was from, I don't know, Australia, I think it would have hurt him a little more than just like shipping it around the corner or something.
Luckily, it's the European Legacy Master, so probably wasn't leaving Europe. But...
I mean, you can live outside of Europe and still be European, right?
Yeah, like imagine if you're like from Australia, you actually win one of those qualifiers. It'd be kind of hilarious.
Was there anyone in the event from Australia?
Like Duke's on Twitch. You gotta move your ass right here. You know, we got a couple of qualifiers for you.
Mean, also, like even if you're not European, you can qualify for these events. Like I think Johannes Gut would qualify in Austria and that kind of stuff. You know.
Yeah, but that's still Europe.
Yeah.
I think we would not turn down somebody non-European because then you get into these weird discussions, right?
I know.
Is this country European? Is it not? Like,
all I'm saying is I would bet money on every single player that played in this event being European.
Like before the tournaments, like don't have your deck list ready, have your passports ready, like so we can check where you come from. You know.
It's the finals, and it turns out like the one person in the finals they're upper game, and then they're like from Kazakhstan, and people are like, are you from the plain in the west of Kazakhstan that's still technically geographically Europe, or are you from eastern Kazakhstan? Just like this huge judge calls about that. Yeah, I can imagine that.
Dude, I would just say I'm from Phyrexia or somewhere else.
You're from Phyrexia, dude. I defy geography. That's how you do it. So should we take a quick look at the meta game? I think there's nothing we didn't really expect. They had 110 players, and drumroll, most played deck was actually it was blue black reanimator. 60 players on that. Then Grix is there in second place on 10. 4-color control. I mean, it's still Italy after all on 7 players. Painter 6, Cephalid Breakfast 6, blue black Tempo 5, which I guess is the new Frog Shell without a reanimator package. Doomsday 5, and then a ton of other decks. Honestly, is there anything that surprises you guys?
Pox?
I mean, there's always one Pox. See, it's actually exactly one Pox.
Exactly, there's one dude on Pox, yeah. That's cool. I think you guys already mentioned it on the last cast that Painter is definitely gained some more power, I think, with the recent bannings. A little surprised about Cephalid Breakfast. It's gotta be the one with Nadu, I suppose.
Yeah.
Right? Because we see a little more Bowmasters, I think, now that like that now that Grief is gone.
Yeah, a little bit more, but like not much. Like it's still Psychic Frog pushing out the 2-drop slot.
I saw a couple of Nadu decks, like the Nadu Elves decks, and man, like
I think that deck's really good.
Like when the deck does its thing, it looks so incredibly powerful. But like when it doesn't, then you just have like a bunch of useless, like really mediocre to shitty 1-mana 1/1s.
Lamrels has not aged very well.
Like Elfish Herder or whatever that guy's called, like 1-mana 1/1 for green.
Yeah, but I think that one, like people don't play that one anymore. I hope at least.
No. I think it's in most lists.
Is it?
Yeah.
I remember when...
But think of it as a combo piece. It's
Legacy staple, Elfish Herder.
I remember when Tasakida shipped me like an Elves list with Nadu, and there was like a one of Elfish Herder in there. I was just like, dude, this is the first cut we gotta cut.
No,
it's... How are we playing Elfish Herder? Like, for those who don't know, it's a 1 green, 1/1, and you can pay either colorless or green and target creature against trample until end of turn.
It's good in the deck. It's
which
combo
is pretty
card.
good with Nadu, yeah.
Yeah, but come on.
You gotta hit the lands though.
There must be something better.
You hit the lands, then as soon as you hit a Cradle, it's just like draw 10.
Dude.
Yeah.
Dude, that's better than Grizzlebrand.
I'm still not down.
But it's I think it is the best Nomads in Core impression that Green Suns
really?
that Green Suns Zenith can get.
Oh, the Green Suns Zenith can get. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
That's the idea, right?
Yeah. Because then, like, other than that, you have, like, Silver Safekeeper, maybe, which is...
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I guess that it's... Yeah, I get why it's worse, but... Come on, fucking Elfish Herder. It's just, like... It's just such a joke of a card. Like, it's from Stronghold, right? So I guess that's got that going for it, but... Yeah.
Stronghold, or is it?
Pretty sure it's Stronghold. Actually,
I don't think it is. I think it's Urza's Saga.
No.
Urza's Destiny?
Oh, you're right. It's just a Saga.
Oh,
it's got such a Stronghold vibe to it.
Oh, get ready.
Like, look at the artwork. Come on, somebody in chat at least tell me that this artwork could be totally from Stronghold.
It says a Saga, bro.
Yeah.
Before Ursa and Mishra came to Argoth, the herders prevented the creatures from stampeding. During the war, they encouraged it. Yeah, okay.
Do you think the card is better now? It's got cool flavor text and it's from a better set.
ever so slightly.
Cool.
I could get behind it because the there's a set symbol. I mean, come on, it's kind of cool.
All right, this is how we review cards on this podcast.
Also, by the way, dude, there was like the great creature type update, and then also like they gave chops to all of the creatures. This guy is still just an elf. Come on, what else would it be? Like, it could even be like an elf warrior or something.
You mean herders or warriors?
No, but like he uses his creatures for. I mean, he must have some kind of chop, or even just like druid or shaman or something.
His job is giving Nadu trample. Obviously, I don't think it's a warrior position.
So, yeah, but which kind of chop like makes other people fight better? Squires, elfish squires,
a blacksmith.
Elfish blacksmith. Blacksmith is not creepy. By the way, do you guys see blacksmith is one of the, like, women rate blacksmithing as one of the most attractive hobbies a male can have.
I saw
talked
that
about that
poll.
on Discord.
It's just such nonsense. Those things, they're all made up. Like,
I mean, of course they're all made up. Like, if you put somebody together who even only had like 5 of those hobbies in the top 10, which is like this is the most unrealistic person in the world. But at least Magic was doing better than drinking. So hey, here we are.
Cool. I think honestly, back to the question of like any surprises of the top 8 decks.
Question. That's good.
Yeah, I think one deck I hope was gonna be more in numbers. It was Mono Green Cloud Post. I think that deck. I know it's a financial challenge to get a Tabernacle. But like that deck looked so good already against like the top decks. I think like we also had like a copy in the top 8.
I mean, for ELM you can play proxies at the very least.
Yeah, that's right. And I guess like the deck does a lot of things that other decks don't do, which is chill. Like most of the time, you just play a land and just don't do anything.
There is one in the top 8, and I think the deck is really strong, and I think people know it. But I think it has some issues. Like one I've noticed recently from like just paying attention is I think it struggles with Tameo. Like a flip Tameo is such a fast clock. Like you can kind of go. You can kind of the deck can go over the top of them drawing half their deck. Like it can do that, and it has some draws that are just insane. But it is still a post deck, and it is slightly susceptible to like getting tempoed out a little bit and things not lining up, and I don't know, drawing too many lands, not top decking well. I do agree it's really, really strong, and I would probably even put it in like the lower end of tier 1 probably.
Whoa.
But I don't think it's like, I think it's fairly respected and fairly known, like, and people do respect the deck a lot and think it's strong. I think it's really hard to play as well, and it also then it only appeals to certain types of players in this sphere. Like, I don't think you're going to get that many people that are like best deck players picking this up because you've got the Reanimator deck or any of the Underground Sea decks basically are like the go-tos. So I think even with proxies allowed, it's going to attract these kind of players. And I don't know, whenever I watch people play it, I find the deck incredibly hard to play because every land sequencing is just like can lose you the game on turn 2 if you play the wrong land. So you need a lot of reps as well, but it's really strong, really, really strong. As I said, I think probably tier 1, but 1 in top 8 is about what I'd expect and stuff. But,
like among 3 players, it's
yeah,
pretty good.
I wouldn't have been surprised if there was like 4 or 5 players, but not more really, I think. But yeah, it's a great deck. When it does its thing, it's insane.
Oh yeah, dude, 100%.
I mean, turn 2 ring is just crazy.
Yeah, I was told that one of the main win conditions is like on any board is like Khan into Microsend Letters and Tabernacle. Like what a disgusting disgusting combination of cards, man. Like,
welcome to Magic.
Yeah,
welcome to Legacy.
You lose everything.
Dude, I had that like so many years ago when I played Legacy in Munich. I think I got Tabernacle down against an Affinity deck, and I had Nilrod. The opponent was like, wait, so oh shit, let's just like they scooped it up completely. Guys, so ELM, great success, resounding success. I've been told by the organizers they are super happy about it. Of course, there's going to be a next one, the 4th edition. We want our 4th champion. We will see whether that's going to be Matteo Blasi again. He's already qualified, by the way. So this was, I think Nico and Matteo might already be qualified because I was told that the semifinals were basically the very first ELM qualifier of the new season. So that would tell me that both Nico and Matteo are already qualified. If you want to qualify, there's going to be tournaments all across Europe. And if your country doesn't have a qualifier, you just send in a message to ELM and you might become the representative of ELM in your country, right? And then maybe you will be able to host tournaments and have qualifiers for that. But we have some big news about ELM 2025. I guess you guys can already see where it's being held, and Kai might have already been told, but ELM 2025 is not gonna be held at Four Seasons in Bologna.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
I didn't know this. This is news to me as well.
Okay. See, that's why we do like the deep talk, the deep information request talk right before the podcast. So, ELM 2025 is gonna be held in Belgium.
Hey,
Nice beer.
People were like hoping for the most weird, fascinating kind. No, it's actually just Belgium, the country you didn't have like a government for like 4 years or something. Anyway, I can't stop making.
It's going to be in
Belgium.
Kenya. Julian's finally convinced Tom to put it in Kenya.
We might actually do it one day. The
Oh
flights
no!
are getting more expensive.
Oh god, I've given you the idea now. Stop.
yeah.
No, it's gonna be held in Hasselt. Like a really, really cool town of like 80,000 people. And it's going to be the weekend before the second largest Belgian music festival. I wrote it. It's called Pukkelpop. It's just like, I love that name. I have no idea which kind of music festival. Callum, you know all the music festivals. Is this one you know?
No.
But it has pop in the name, so I guess it's not your kind of tea.
No.
Yeah, okay.
I don't. Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's probably
okay.
like it's probably like Wacken.
Okay, yeah. So this one is going to be held on the weekend of the 8th, 9th, and 10th of August in 2025. And honestly, like one thing that fills me with a lot of confidence is that like a date has already been basically announced a year ahead of time. This is like not something that always happens for big tournaments. Like even Wizards like sometimes can't do it, right? They just like tell you about a tournament like two months ahead. And ELM, once again, the same idea. There's going to be a big Eternal tournament weekend. It's going to be called Eternal Mania in Hasselt. And ELM is going to be one of those events, right? Same for Four Seasons, where there's the Four Seasons main event. There's going to be other formats. I was told there's going to be CDH. There's definitely going to be Vintage. They don't know yet about Modern. So there's going to be a lot of reasons to go there, even if you're not qualified for ELM. And this is also a new one. There's going to be a last chance qualifier. So you can go there even with the hopes of, representing your country and winning, even if you're not qualified. Dude, imagine if they had that at the Football World Cup. It's just like you can show up as like a random team and be like, hey, we're maybe gonna make it in here. It's just okay. Yeah, you're giving me ideas. So that one's, as I said, it's gonna be held in August. The TO is called Yati, and they work together with like Tom the Decker and of course Bose MTG and Mana Temple from Luxembourg. I think Kai, you actually got to meet Mana Temple, right?
Yeah, shout out to Ty Wedekind. I know his brother Morito. He lives in Berlin. Two brothers, I'm half Japanese, half from Luxembourg, and they both play a lot of Magic. And Ty, like the older brother, just opened the store called Mana Temple, I think this year. So
where's the store? Is it in Luxembourg?
It's in Luxembourg, yeah, and I think it's already a WPN store. I think, if I'm not mistaken, one of my goals for this or next year is to definitely stop by Luxembourg, because I've never been there.
Wondering, like it's so close, but none of us has ever been to Luxembourg. I would guess. Should we just like randomly show up there, like, hey, we want to see the country?
Yeah, like, and play some Legacy.
No, seriously. Like when I think about it, like Luxembourg is small, but it's not like a tiny super tiny country. But I've never been there. Like I've been to so many places. It's kind of like, it feels like an insult to myself that I've never been to Luxembourg. Maybe that's gonna be the next tourism slogan.
My knowledge of Luxembourg is basically, we had a friend called Claude who used to live in London. He's moved back some years ago now, but we also always joke about the Luxembourg Navy because it's clearly got loads of sea around it. So be afraid of the Luxembourg Navy, and you can get a ferry there pretty easily.
Cool.
So if you want to go to Hasselt, where the tournament is actually going to be held, the easiest way to get there is taking a flight to Brussels, and then from Brussels there's going to be a direct train to Hasselt, and the venue is basically right at the train station, so that's super convenient, so you don't have to like wander around the city. Eindhoven, you might know, is a little closer, but it also like has cheap flights. That's just like what Eindhoven is known for, but the only problem is Eindhoven doesn't have a direct train to Hasselt. So it's not the most convenient way to get there. So if you already think about like booking your plane, booking your hotel, whatever, you better go to Brussels and then take a direct train to Hasselt.
That's not too bad.
August next year. And then the easiest thing is just like qualifying, right? That's how you do it. Yeah,
very easy, very easy.
Cool. So yeah, that's gonna be ELM 2025. I'm just like so happy to hear that all of this is already in the works. And but like when Tom got home, Tom the Decker, and he basically he got home like an hour ago, and then I already messaged him about, hey Tom, you have some information about ELM 2025. He's like, okay, let me just jump on a call before I fall completely asleep. And then the next morning he also has like conversations about ELM and all these tournaments. there are not only Tom, I'm just like putting him out there because he's the person I usually have the most contact with. So many people who work for ELM, they put on so much of their private time, and I think without really being compensated, not even for travel and anything. So
We love you guys.
yeah, that's basically what I want to say, because I'm not sure I would be able to do it. You guys, any kind of like ambitions for qualifying next year?
More than this year. I only got to play in one this year, which was the London one. The other UK ones were kind of like on weekends I was busy and stuff. And this last weekend, watching the stream especially, I got a lot of FOMO. I was just like, I want to be involved. I wanted to be there. I would have gone anyway, even if not being qualified, if it wasn't for like just busy with other things and moving soon and stuff. So I just couldn't really swing it. I'm looking after my parents' dogs at the moment. But yeah, I'm very keen to get back to Four Seasons. I really missed it.
Totally. Yeah. Like for me also, like as a player or doing commentary, like either way, I think I'm going to be very happy about this event.
By the way, Kai, we never spoke about your booth at Four Seasons. Did you get a lot of challenges again?
Oh, man.
Did you maintain a positive record there?
So many,
3-2?
dude. So like, so on Saturday, my record was 7-5. I had 12 lovely challenges in Modern and Legacy. It was pretty much 50-50, I think I want to say. And 7-5, which is not like, it's not crazy good, but we had a lot of insane games and insane rolls too. Like,
Cool.
Yeah, especially the one where we both got a Death Ray Shaman on turn 2.
Dude, you keep talking about that on Santa Fe. You get the Death Ray Shaman on turn 2. Like, to me, it felt like that would have been the least interesting one of the things you can like basically roll on the wheel.
Oh, I think it's insane because you can do so many things. Like you can pay for stuff. Also, like people get reminded of like how obnoxious those Death Ray Shaman mirrors are when both players have one. I think so. It's a little bit of like a time travel thing too. But a lot of the times, like it just eats the first removal spell. So, but it was really nice. And on Sunday I had 14 challenges.
Nice.
I forgot my record, which is probably not a good sign for me.
Definitely mean you lost more then.
Yeah, including vintage too, because I had my vintage deck with me anyway. So so Raphael challenged me in vintage, and
of course he did.
Oh man, and we had good magic. Because I usually don't do it, but like he specifically asked for like a best of 3, and man, and I crushed him 2-0, which was pretty satisfying. Yay!
So you're like, no, I don't do best of 3s.
Oh man, dude, man, that vintage Doomsday deck, I gotta tell you, like Gush and Ancestral Recall, pretty good magic cards.
No way.
Yeah,
Crazy.
surprise. But like, yeah, I had a fantastic weekend, like a kind of healthy mix between like playing events, doing the booth, doing commentary, eating pizza and pasta.
So if you accidentally qualified for ELM next year, would you rather do your booth or actually play?
I would totally play.
Actually, you already have an ELM top 8, right?
You
did, and you lost to Blue Red Diver last time, right? In the very first one. Yeah,
but
I remember
that was also the one where I did this big fuck up with my deck list, and I still won versus Mengucci, which I think was one of the coolest things I've accomplished in my whole Magic career.
Andrea's probably happy to be reminded about that.
So if your name is Andrea Mengucci, just skip the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, I don't think that's how it works.
It's fine. Andrea doesn't win very much otherwise.
Yeah. And speaking of Andrea not winning very much, let's move on to Four Seasons, the Legacy main event. They had almost 400 players, like that's 387 or something. And for those who don't know, they play all the Swiss, and then everybody in top 8 gets the same prize, which usually is like €1,000 or something like that. This time they also had those special medals they made for the top 8 of the dragon, of the big painting that Matteo Blasi took home. And turns out that Matteo Blasi not only took home the big painting for ELM, he also gets to take home one of the medals. This is something else. This is like when in the Olympics somebody wins like, I don't know, gold, silver, and bronze. And they take home the complete set. Yeah, Matteo Blasi was just like, I want that as well. He made top 8 playing Blue-Black Reanimator again, along with a bunch of other Italians. This has been one of the most successful events for Italians, I want to say, right? There's only one non-Italian in the top 8.
Very quickly, I have Matteo. Between the two events, he went 16 wins, 1 loss, 3 draws across the 2 events.
Oh,
and like some of those draws are probably IDs.
Yeah, I know that like the round 8 of this one was an ID, and then he won round 9. So yeah, at least one, maybe probably one in the ELM as well.
So, how many losses? Like 2 losses? 1 loss?
1 loss.
1 loss in like 20 matches or something.
Absolutely
20
insane.
matches.
Wow. Okay, this is I mean, if it was almost anybody else other than Matteo, I would have been like, oh, this is actually something else. This is surprising. But I mean, at this point, he's a crusher, man.
He is. He's the mongoose.
He's the newest mongoose. Should we look at the sex? Actually, quickly, let's go through the other top 8. There's, of course, Andrea Mengucci. There's Ricardo Piava. There's František Juda, the winner of last year's ELM. So coming back, didn't defend his title, or wasn't able to defend his title this year, I guess. But he made top 8 in the ELM in the 4 seasons. So I guess that's a nice alternate prize to win. Then it got Claudio Bonanni, another Italian juggernaut winner of GP Lille 2015. We got Luca Ferrari. We got Riccardo Bondani. Matteo Blasi, as we already mentioned. And, of course, Marco Del Pivo. And, yeah, he sneaked in. I think he was pretty safe to draw anyway.
I love seeing Marco and Andrea.
Oh, yeah. They belong together, right? Kind of.
Yeah.
Like we met them at Impact Returns as well. Such a fun guy.
I know that there was some funkiness in the last round where some of the players in like 10th, 11th, 12th or something drew thinking they were safe to top 8 and they both were out, which let Matteo and Marco get in, I think.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That is epic.
Yeah. Oh, that's okay. I didn't know that.
I got the intel from Greek Sean there.
Yeah, they're probably like pretty happy about sneaking in that way.
Yeah,
I remember I also like snuck into the top 8 of an MKM Frankfurt 2017 once, where I was literally leaving and they were like 8th place. I think I told the story many times before because it was so funny to me. And in 8th place, Julian Knab, and I was like, what? Turn around. Like,
I was just going for a walk. It's fine. I knew what was going on.
Yeah. So yeah, let's look at the decklist they played, because this is like in no particular order altogether. We haven't seen all the decklists yet, but I was able to get most of them from Twitter.
I know some that you haven't put on there, so I think
that's
we can
awesome.
help. Because you've also put a modern decklist here, so I think I can help out.
No, not really, right?
Yeah,
I fucking uploaded a modern decklist.
Yeah.
Oh, is it the one from Ricardo?
Ricardo,
Piava?
yeah. But
because I was looking at the cards and was like, oh my god, I haven't like been following Magic a lot lately. Like, what is the pressure ray? And I think Cosmic Rebirth, that's an Anorak card.
It is.
Temporary lockdown. And I'm like, whoa, Legacy has changed, man.
But no, I can help you out. Like we can.
Okay.
I think I know most players.
So from what we gathered, there are 3 blue-black reanimator decks in the top 8 and 2 blue-white-red Cheskai. I guess that's Wrath of the Sky Control, kind of.
Yeah, I think it was Marco Del Pivo, Matteo Blasi, and Riccardo Bondani. I think they were the reanimator players.
Okay. Then allegedly somebody made top 8 on Oops All Spells. Can you confirm that?
This is Luca Ferrari, who is Clog W on Magic Online.
Oh, that's him.
Yeah,
I know the name. Okay.
He's like the. I haven't seen him online for a while, but he's just like the combo guy. So yeah, he went 7-0 double ID, I believe.
That's just like the Oops All Spells way, right?
Yeah, but
like,
he's like Oops absolute master. So
Oops, everybody.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. I think I saw the deck list like somewhere on Twitter, but it had like 3 additional Thassa's Oracles in the sideboard. Like that something I haven't ever seen before.
That's because of all the new blue double face lands in the sets. So you can just ignore Leyline in the Void and Surgical Extraction by boarding in the
Oh, and then you just like cast it from hand when your library's exiled, basically.
Yeah, so you need to play a slow game where you can like, activate the Undercity Informer or play an Undercity Informer, activate and Thassa's Oracle the same turn stuff. So it's a much slower thing. But you get to ignore things, or you can like play the Informer, and then if you know their hand, you can then Memory's Journey, so you don't deck out the next turn and just put like 3 Thassa's Oracles on top of your library. It opens up tons of lines, basically.
Mm.
Yeah. But the deck just has more lands as well now because you have all these double face blue lands. So it's cool.
Dude, that's just like my horror. Like if I sit down, like I'm playing for the top 8 of ELM or 4 seasons or any big tournament, I'm like, okay, let's go, let's have a good match, and then
they reveal Chancellor of the Hangouts.
Yeah, exactly right. Then my last hope is maybe it's Black Dart Reanimator or something. I'm just like, nope, oops, you. Okay, GG. Thank you for playing. It's like, okay, right. So yeah, that's kind of cool to hear because I couldn't find a decklist for that one. Where I was able to find a decklist is for Marco Del Pivo's top 8, and he was actually playing Max Torsten's Blue Black Reanimator list that he used to win one of the more recent Saturday Legacy challenges on Magic Online. And looking at this, I think most of it in the main deck is kind of stuck. I think the sideboard is where it gets interesting-ish, a little bit at least, right?
Yeah, it depends. Like, so Max was like one of the first people immediately after the ban who was like, this deck is still good, and I think everyone kind of agreed, but was waiting to see the results come in and stuff. And Max put up results first, and so people have just kind of gravitated to his list to copy and stuff. So it makes sense that it's like it looks kind of stock, but a lot of the choices and ideas were max first, kind of.
Oh, okay. So that makes sense, because when I look at these lists, it's always like 4 Frog, which makes sense. Then 2 copies of Tamio, and then usually like a certain number of copies of Barrowgolf. And this time it's in the sideboard usually. So there's like 3 copies.
It's always in the sideboard, basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's a plan B.
It's pretty stock. Like it's Blue Black Reanimator. It's like the same as the deck before, but the numbers are here and there. And Max does play a ton, and he wins. He went on such a tear. He got to 1920 rating, which is super high.
Oh man, what I think is like an absolute bold move of this deck list in particular is that there's just no graveyard head in the entire 75, except the Emperor of Bones. You know,
Emperor
which is
Bones,
like,
and
it's.
I would say Reanimate and Animate Dead.
I was going to say
kind
those
of
two.
Like,
But also, I mean, not against Oops Soul spells, but I guess
people should play like Quicken or something.
No, but
Quicken reanimate you guys.
It makes sense. Like a lot of combo decks, if you're going to kill the graveyard decks before they do their thing, like why do you need graveyard hate? Here, like they're going to Thoughtseize and Force like and stuff, and then you're going to get Grizzlebrand. And like, what graveyard deck is beating you doing your plan?
Right. Yeah. No, that's fair. But like, you still gotta play the mirror sometimes, and I guess the best thing to be doing is just reanimating their things, I guess.
Yeah, in the mirror,
instead
I think
of hating it.
It's kind of accepted that in the mirror you take out the big monsters because it's such a bad thing to get Thoughtseized, or like you'll reanimate, you entomb for it, and then you'll reanimate, get forced, and then they reanimate it. So I think the convention is you take out the big monsters, you take out the animate deads, and then you kind of go fair, but you keep in the reanimates.
Mm-hmm.
So like, so you don't need to bring in graveyard hate then. Yeah.
Right.
So I don't know. I love the decision for no graveyard hate. I think it makes sense to me.
By the way, something interesting about Barrowgolf, I was just told this right before we started recording, and I think this is correct. Barrowgolf gets around Leyline of the Void, right?
It counts both plays graveyards.
No, I don't need for counting. I mean for the milling and getting a creature back.
I need to read the actual thing, but it's like you look at the top cards of your library, right?
No, you mill the 3 cards and then you pick one of them, but it's like not you target them in a graveyard. It's just like you mill those 3 cards. And then you pick one. I was told this works.
I think so. It feels like it's similar to something that's happened before, and it makes sense.
Yeah. That's kind of cool, because I would have totally missed that if I wasn't aware of it.
Barrowgolf is a crazy card as well. It's so strong.
Yeah.
So
I hate playing against it, honestly. I'd rather play against Tarmogoyf, which is like 1 mana less.
Oh, no shit.
Wow, Julian.
I'm first playing against this card that sees 0 play in the format, and this card that's in the best deck in the format.
But yeah, it's just like okay, never mind.
No, I get it.
Okay, cool. So at least somebody gets it.
I mean, Goyf getting lifelink is just huge. And then it just hits a creature every time. Like, it's a card advantage engine as well. It's so crazy.
Oh. Yeah. Another deck I really want to play is what Andrea Mengucci used to top 8, the same 75 that he used to top 8 Impact Returns with as well. Mm-hmm. And that one is, I guess, what we call Cradle Control, even though it's every day it strays further from what it originally was, Cradle Control. Anyway, but I want to activate Rite of the Reliquary. I think I've never done it in my life, and it feels like I've been missing out. Have you guys activated Rites?
Yeah, I've played this deck a couple of times in leagues. White is amazingly strong.
It's the best creature in the deck, I want to say. It's just like Vigilance with a tapped ability is just like undeniably powerful. You can't really kill it because you can always get Talon of Gates of Madara. You can always balk your opponent in mid-combat, to make like blocks very awkward if your opponent's on Murktide or
I bet so many people do not expect the second copy of Talons of Magara.
That line is so good. Like, you almost want to have the 3rd copy, I think.
Two copies of stock, but what's quite common is like you try and use the Reclaimers to sack them once they're in play, and then you endurance yourself so you can kind of reuse them.
I've seen that, yeah. That's kind of cool.
But, the deck is great. White is super strong, and like the deck kind of goes crazy when you have a Springheart Nantiku on the white, and you just make more of them.
Yeah, it's a little bit of like virtual card advantage too, right? Because like you don't have to play things like Swords of Plowshares in this deck. Like, your removal is like on a land that you can always Demonic Tutor for at instant speed. Mm-hmm. I think it's like this card, like Talon Gates of Madara, like really put this deck on a new tier level, I think.
agree. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really strong.
By the way, and speaking of creatures having no downside, little did we know Knight of the Reliquary actually had a downside because it couldn't attack and activate on the same turn. Wizards was like, hey, we fixed this downside. Now you can activate and attack on the same turn.
So just called not having vigilance is the downside.
Yeah.
God, all these creatures have downsides apart from
A lot
white.
of them, yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah.
Is Shadow an upside or a downside, by the way?
Shadow's clearly an upside, I think.
Is it?
Dude, it's unblockable. Like if you're winning, like you better don't block. You just you gotta push.
Okay. I think that's an interesting discussion, but not for this podcast because actually it's quite boring. Okay, cool. Yeah, I want to play this deck. Andrea, once again, getting a top 8 here. He's just like on such a tear. Moving on, we have Claudio Bonani. He also made top 8, and I saw on his Twitter that he said, this is the brew I built yesterday before the tournament with 0 test. And I feel like this has been a thing he said for the last couple of times that he top 8'd for seasons, where he was like, yeah, it's like the night before the tournament, whatever, just like throw something together. And turns out he threw together, what is this, Buck Uro ring?
I have to say, I love Claudio, and I'm really happy top 8'd, but this has like so many cards I dislike.
Hit me. Which cards do you not like?
Lighted Halfling, Uro, and the One Ring. It's just
right.
It's just so battle cruisery, mid range. It's just not my kind of thing. But
maybe that's the way to go.
Could be. I mean, he's done well with it. I
mean, it's kind of cute, right? Like you can add blue mana with the Lighted Halfling to cast Tamio.
Mm-hmm.
And cannot be countered.
Halfling makes the ring uncounterable, which is like a big deal.
Yeah.
But no, here's Minamo's School at Water's Edge. Isn't that the one that untaps Legends?
Yeah, so you can untap the ring.
Yeah, you can have the ring. You can have the
Claudio's smoking, man.
Well, Minamo is a complete staple in Modern now.
Yeah, of course. That's why I posted a Modern decklist further down.
Sure, yeah.
But it's like, it's kind of crazy to see like Minamo in a deck with like 3 days, for example.
I guess you can also untap Uro, which doesn't really do anything, but hey, you get the block.
Yeah, it's a couple of numbos. But like essentially, this is kind of like the approach of like going a little bigger than the tempo decks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, slightly over the top.
Yeah.
And then the random one life from the loam, one wasteland. That's all I need. I'm loving it.
Yeah, I do think the ring is underplayed in ancient tomb decks. It is just so powerful. So you do need some mana acceleration, like here, Lighted Halfling, obviously, and Uro to put more lands into play. But yeah, I feel like the ring is just, it's worth playing, even over kind of a Beans package in some mid-range decks. Like here, exactly. It's good.
I wonder if he's ever going to play this again. Because from when he posted it, he was like, this is such a joke of a deck. And yeah, it turns out he top 8'd once again. I don't know how many 4 seasons top 8s he has by now, but must be a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, then moving on to Ricardo Biava, who turns out did not top 8 with a Modern deck. I posted this on our show notes and I was like, yeah, it looks reasonable enough, even though it's weird. But Callum, help me out. What did our hero actually play here?
It is our favorite deck. Just completely
straight. Oh my
Jeskai
God,
control for Narset, 2 Teferi Jeskai control.
Oh no.
Okay. Then I know what he played. Then he, because he posted that he got the deck from Angelo Cadei.
Yeah, it's Cadei's list. Yeah.
Thanks to Angelo for telling me that Jeskai is good design. All 4 seasons tournaments he provides me with information that I need to do well. It feels like Ricardo also went to his tournament like, whatever, dude, just ship me a deck list and I'll crush.
Yeah, Ricardo's really known for being a crusher in Modern with control and stuff. So he's like the control guy, quote unquote.
Oh, maybe that's why he posted a Modern. Maybe also top 8 Modern, because I grabbed a top 8 list that kind of looked like blue-white control from his his Twitter. Okay.
Yeah, he put 2 quick pictures, but cool. he's kind of a biggish name in Modern for control and stuff. So it's unsurprising to see him do well in Legacy with the control list.
Cool. I think he might have actually played the list that we now have for. Here it is. František Juda, last year's ELM winner. We already talked about that. And he said he also copied Angelo Cadei's list. And this is basically blue, white, red Jeskai, as you already talked about, right?
The only thing. I'll always make fun of Jeskai, but they're going heavy on the non-basic land hate, which I really like. So there's 2 back to basics main, 2 Harboring of the Season sideboard, and a Ruination, and then 3 Consigned to Memory. They're giving Eldrazi decks the respect they need, which is really good. The deck is well built.
Verdict as well, right? That's what you need there.
Mm-hmm.
So you basically, the idea is like you Supreme Verdict them out, and I guess you can do it in either way. You can either Supreme Verdict first and then go Meltdown,
some anti-land hate,
Ruination, or any kind of. I was going to say Meltdown. Yeah, that doesn't work too well here.
Yeah,
it's just like this is somewhat different from the grindy chess guy decks that we usually used to make fun of, right? Because now we are playing 6 Planeswalkers. There's a One of Days Undoing in there. So yeah, this like almost like. But I was going to say, it looks to me like it wants to play Ancient Tomb, but actually it does not, because the Planeswalkers, you can't really cast them.
I will say, like, my problem with these decks has always been that, like, 4 Narsets is just feels so clunky and weak to tempo, but it's because tempo plays Lightning Bolt, and, like, there's just very few Lightning Bolts in the format at the moment. Because I've been playing a ton of Miracles recently for fun, and Jace has felt amazing, but it's because it's, like, blue-black tempo decks. Or even if you're Grixis, there's, like, a few bolts, but like more fatal pushes. So I don't know. That's the kind of direction the metagame's gone in. That is kinder to Narsets and Jaces and stuff like this.
Is this deck here to stay, or is it?
It never went anywhere, especially in Italy.
Well, there's a Mentor on the sideboard. I kind of like that.
Yeah, I mean
that is the one-off Mentor, right?
That's like the most Italian card in this whole list, I think.
I think you're obligated to play Mentor if you're Italian.
Yeah, it's like
actually, Fantasy is not Italian. Well,
this is like so Angelo style, like one Mentor in the sideboard.
I've got Ricardo's list up now, and it's slightly different. There's 2 temporary lockdowns in the main. There's a 3rd Teferi, 2 Spell Pierces. Otherwise, it's
help me out again. What is temporary lockdown? Because I saw that one in the modern list he played.
It's 3 mana, 1 white. And ETBs, you exile all permanents with mana cost 2 or less until it leaves the battlefield.
Oh, it's like a mini deed, kinda.
Yeah.
Okay. What?
I've just posted it in the show notes, the list. It's quite different. There's no Ruination, it's just 2 Blood Moons, no Back to Basics main. But
there it is. Okay, I see it.
It's pretty similar, though. It's still like a 3 mana Planeswalker heavy list with a bunch of counter spells and removal.
2 copies of Spell Pierce.
Yeah.
Picked old frame for everything where it's available. Okay, man of good taste. Cool. Well, Callum, help me out. How good is Painter right now? Because I see a lot of people rate Painter as a tier 1 deck, and I see it doing well, especially in challenges on Magic Online. Because I was looking through the results ever since the ban, and like I think Grindstone Cowboy won a Sunday challenge with it, and I see a lot of like random top 8s with it over there.
Painter's great. It's in a really, really strong position. It's definitely tier 1, and you should be very happy playing it right now. Like, which kind of list you play, I think you can play all of them. It really feels like, you play the core of like 7 or 8 blasts now, probably 8 blasts at the moment. You play the combo, and after that you can add a splash, you can play the Cauldron build. Like, you can really take it a few directions, and they all feel pretty good. But my opinion of Painter is, when it's good, it's very easy to hate out. Like, I like, you're seeing the Nadu Elves list, like playing Emrakul in the main decks of WinCon, which makes it awkward. The post decks, some I've cut Emrakul, but it's rare, so that's there as well. You do just have, it's kind of weak to fast combo, like oops or spells and whatever's like Vexing Bauble can save you on the play. Mindbreak Traps are just always terrible. I keep trying them and they're always terrible. So it's a deck that's always, I think, struggles when it's strong, because people can sideboard for it pretty easily and pretty well.
The thing is, like, I never really felt like that was my problem with Painter, that people would play Emrakul in the sideboard. I feel like that's. I mean, that
it was only a problem from aggressive decks, but
yeah. I was gonna say that's something only weak players do. Kinda, it felt like. But then again,
no, I think like an initiative deck or Moonstompy with an Emrakul in the sideboard goes from like maybe slightly favored to unfavored. It's one card that makes a huge difference.
The only thing is, like, I've played Painter a ton, like not as much as you, but a ton over the last 2 years, and it really rarely ever happened to me that people actually used to do that. I feel like if that's my biggest concern, then I completely ignore that and have no concern.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm not saying this is the reason. It's just one of the other reasons.
Okay.
I just feel like it's also a deck where, like, you have Fable as like filtering, and then you have some tutors with Saga and Engineer, but otherwise you do just like mulligan to 5 sometimes a fair amount. Like, it has a tiny bit of a consistency issue. Yeah. I think you need to have, it's still like underplayed for how good it is, I think. Like, it's never going to have the same numbers as like blue dual fetch land decks. So if loads more people play it, it'll just put up more results because it is really strong. But I don't know. I feel like if it's a kind of deck that's never going to be the best deck in the format. Is my feel to it. I can't really like sum it up in a better way, but it is really good. It is probably one of the top 3 decks right now, maybe. Like, but
okay, so hit me. Top 3 would be like Reanimator, Eldrazi, Painter. Is that what you're saying?
I think so. There's definitely an argument for like blue-black good stuff tempo to be better than Painter, but it's something like that. I would say those 3 or 4. Yeah.
Okay. Kai, how do you feel about Doomsday?
Like
we already asked you last time, right? Did anything change?
I mean, there are like not as many like hand disruption is gone. That's a good thing for combo decks in general.
Okay. Well, I've seen them like put in some Thoughtseize, but usually only like 2 copies.
Yeah, the good thing about Thoughtseize though, like at least it costs mana.
So this is where we are in 2024. At least they're still paying for it.
You know, like that's a downside of Thoughtseize, that it actually costs mana.
Don't give Wizards any ideas. I mean, we already gave them ideas. They made Thoughtseize without mana. Okay, never mind.
No, but I think Doomsday is like, it's not the best deck in the format, but it's definitely legit. A little better than before. Also like Luca Fasoli also top 8 at the ELM with Doomsday, which I think was really cool.
Did you get to see the list? Actually, we do have the list. By the way, we're going to link all of the deck lists in the show notes because they are up. You can literally see everybody's deck list, not only the top 8, any person, any of the 112 actually people who played in this, they submitted a deck list.
Very nice, yeah.
So who's in last place? Oh, 8cast, not going to say the name. From Ireland, at least. Okay, well, no, not shaming anyone here. Okay. Are you gonna play any big legacy events going forward, or are you having too much fun doing your booth? Because that's something I'm always wondering. Because I want to see Kaiser Vatari and Doomsday action.
You know what? Like now that you asked me this question, I wanted to do an announcement anyway.
You're retiring?
No. I successfully signed up as a player for both Legacy and the Vintage main event at the Eternal Weekend in Prague this year.
Hey,
good.
Yay!
No booth this time?
No booth this time. I think like you know, I'm just a little bit. I just like Magic too much sometimes, and like I think like once a year, then definitely at the Eternal Weekend.
At least
like,
once a year, yeah.
And like you gotta do it because it's such a big tournament, and like now I also got so hooked on Vintage Doomsday that it's just so hard to pass on.
it's also like the biggest Vintage like opportunity, right?
Every year. It's the only like Grand Prix we got. You know what I mean?
Basically,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah,
good I also definitely want to go.
I could see it and hear it in like when we were talking about the booth sometimes, as good as it is, but I could see like you probably need to take it in turns, like play booth or something.
Definitely, because a lot of things are like both things are so much fun to me. Like I can't describe in words like how many people I met like this weekend again who just showed up. Like some of them were like, hey, you know, I recognize your voice from the podcast, and you know we talked about the podcast a little bit. Like some people just approached me like, hey, you know, like I don't know, Cunt Destroyer 666, and I always watch your streams and whatnot, right? And like those kind of like interactions are so satisfying, and like because as a player, you usually only talk to your friends and then to a couple of your opponents, and that's it. But like if I do my booth, like I get to talk to so many more players, and because there are so many cool people out there who are maybe not even the best players, right? But it doesn't really matter because they have a lot of passion for their archetypes. Like there was this guy like who like man, he was like so excited about this Yorion Enchantress deck.
I mean, that's a thing
with Dream Halts.
Okay, that's not a thing.
No, dude, like he told me this was like the craziest deck idea I've heard like in a while. So he told me it's an Enchantress deck with Yorion, but his win condition is Laboratory Maniac.
Nice.
It's fucking
and somehow there's Dream Halls in there because you want to cast the entire deck. I mean, I see where it's actually coming together, kind of.
Yeah, and and he plays Atraxas too, but like basically it's an up the beanstalk like
this is the greatest shit I've ever heard.
I draw my whole entire deck kind of thing.
Dream Halls, draw my deck.
Dude, and then like he wins with a non-enchantment card. Oh,
it's so unflavorful. Or flavorful, depending on how you want to look at it. Okay. We will see how that deck does in the next ELM. Dude, I'm so pumped. Are you guys interested in going to, what's it going to be called? Eternal Mania, I believe, in Belgium.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, totally, yeah.
Yeah, Brussels. And then just like, last time I was in Brussels, COVID broke out. But I mean, it's not going to happen again, is it?
New territories.
Are you going to go to Eternal Weekend, Julian?
Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
Like I ever since I took my new job, and which is basically almost exactly 1 year ago now, I I've consciously cut back on Magic, not because I hate it, just because I want to be more like measured about it. And yeah, I want to go to Eternal Weekend so badly because I still think back because last year's Eternal Weekend, the very last round I played was against mono black bullshit something, and I lost. And I felt so deflated and so like without any energy and anything. Just like, I don't know. To me, it felt like, yeah, this is my last international tournament for probably a while, and this last round was the biggest shit I've played in years, and I don't want to leave it at like on that note. So definitely coming back and trying to do better.
Hell yeah.
Cool. So with that, everybody, hope to see all of you at Eternal Weekend and at Eternal Mania next year as well. And if you want to support the running of the show directly, you can do so by leaving a review on. But I keep talking about Apple Podcasts, but are people still using that, guys? Where do you listen on podcasts? To podcasts?
It's 99% Spotify, I think.
Yeah, I see Spotify. Everybody's on Spotify.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, you also get money if you host your Podify on Spotify. It's getting late. Anyway, if you want to leave a review on Spotify, thank you so much for that. Also, if you want to support the running on the show on Patreon, especially like our Eternal Witness tier Patreons, Franco Bolli, Kane, Colin Garassi, Alex Crow, Tim Everett, Testacula, Sebastian Holager, Guillaume, Sean Dewey, Stephen Bush, Jim Monolith, still one of the coolest names, Francis Cowper, Cassandra Davis, Dylan Shoemaker, Rachel Scherer, Tom Zischka, Benedict Gruber, and Severin Schwarzhuber, and our top Grizzlebrand tier supporters, Scott Monroe, Evan Lassard, Tom Hepp, Harry Houdini MTG, Ian Seefeld, Joe Brennan, and Colonoscopy. Thank you so much, and see you again next time. Bye-bye.
Love you guys.
Ciao, everyone.